Today I will be showing you how to just work the ins and outs of Logger Pro using the temperature probe, the colorimeter, and a pH probe. So first things first, you get whatever probe you're using, and then you go to the desktop and open up Logger Pro. Yay! So then once you figure that out, you plug in whichever device you're using and go from there. Then you just abide by whatever experiment you're using. So as just a couple of general safety techniques, if you are using a temperature probe using a hot plate, you want to make sure that the wire doesn't touch the hot plate at all, or else it'll fry the probe and you owe money. Another thing to do is that you always have to, keep it constantly spinning for the temperature probe or the pH probe. So whether you spin it yourself, like what I'm doing now, or you use one of the magnetic stir rods if you're an AP Chem. When you're using Logger Pro to open an experiment, you would go to Open, you click Chemistry with Vernier, and you would go and find whichever lab that you're doing. For the sake of the demo, I'll use EndoExo since I have the temperature probe plugged in. And to collect data, you would just go to the green button, click Collect, and then Ms. Tyndall it'll automatically start collecting. Ms. Tyndall will let you know if there's any other changes or how to change the X and Y. And then you would stop once you're done. Okay, so then the next tool is the pH probe. So to use the pH probe, anytime you use the pH probe, you have to calibrate first. So first things first is you plug in your pH probe. Then this is electrolytic solution, so you have to be really careful. You can just gently take the probe out of it. You have to be careful not to go too fast because there's a glass bulb that is the measurement of the pH, and if you break that, the whole thing's useless. You're left with the solution, and you need to make sure that's put right up at the edge because it can't dump out since Ms. Tyndall only has a limited amount solution. You need to rinse it off so that way there's none of the solution left in it, so that way you'll get a good reading. So gently shake out the water because again, glass bulb, it will break. So once you do that, you take a little beaker and you take a buffer solution which will have the pH level. So for the sake of demonstration, I'll be using pH of 11. You would do this with both pH of 11 and a pH of 4. So you pour in just enough into the beaker so that way you can get the reading. And this can be, the solutions in the beakers can be reused from group to group. So you don't have to pour out 50 separate beakers. So then you would put it in, then you would go to experiment and click calibrate. And then calibrate now. So then stirring. And then since I was already stirring it before, it's already constant. So then you would just enter your pH reading of 11 into it and click keep. And then you would repeat the same process with the pH of 4, with the buffer solution of 4. But once you do that, after you do the 1, you would first rinse it off, so that way all the pH 11 is off of the probe. But after you complete your experiment, you would take it and just, after you rinse it off, you would just gently put it back in. You want to make sure that's low enough that's in the solution, but not low enough that it's touching the bottom. I'll be showing you how to use a colorimeter. First, you want to make sure that you have one that has an adaptation in order to plug it into the Logger Pro system. So then, like with the pH probe, you need to calibrate first. So you take one of the cuvettes and you need to fill it 3/4 bowl with water, deionized water. And then put the lid on. Alright, and then with the cuvettes, you need to make sure that you handle it using only the top of the ridged sides. There are 2 sides that are ridged and then 2 sides that are smooth. So you make sure that you're holding it by the ridged side so that way your data isn't compromised by finger smudges. So once you do that, you take a little cuvette tissue to wipe off the sides to again make sure that there's no smudges and so on. Then you open up your colorimeter and put the cuvette in the clear side or the smooth side facing the line, because that is where the reading will occur. So you need to go make sure it's closed. Open. Click chemistry with vernier, and then go until you find whichever one you're using. For today, we're using Beers Law. And then it'll pop up with the screen that's asking, like, you are using the colorimeter. So then click connect, and it'll show up with the absorbance. So now we have our chance to calibrate it. So you go calibrate colorimeter, click calibrate, make sure it's on 0% transition, click calibrate now, wait till it's constant, and then type in 0 into the box, click keep. Next you switch it to green, wait until it steadies, which it has, and then you type in 100, and then click keep. Then you just simply take out the cuvette, get rid of the water, and then repeat the same process using whatever solution you have. So you take out the water, put in your solution, put into the colorimeter, get the reading, so on and so forth.